7 and you are live for yet another thrilling, exciting edition of Keeping It Real. And you know how we do. It's a full hour, well, nearly a full hour, dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Well, hopefully. Tonight we're getting into a very interesting conversation. And this time it's nothing anonymous. You're going to be hearing it from the horse's own mouth. Let me say good evening and a very warm welcome to my co-pilot, Miss Judy. Miss Judy is in the house. How are we doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
So you, between yourself and Beyonce, who is the best looking woman currently just in the game? I mean...
We are trying.
You and Beyonce are trying. She did try, but she can never try as hard as Miss Judy. Miss Judy is our resident Beyonce, okay? Looking good as always. Is it easy or difficult to be Miss Judy?
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, really? You just need a couple of $1,000 a month to keep it.
Make it 2,000.
Good to see you, Miss Judy. Let me say a warm welcome and good evening to my guests as well, who are duly seated. I've got Franklin Ajete in the house, the actor extraordinaire, education consultant. Franklin,
Hello.
Good to see you. Good evening.
Good to see you too.
Is it also easy or difficult to be Franklin?
It's actually difficult.
I can imagine. I mean, the swag is on 1,000. I mean, I'm judging from the glasses.
I tell you.
I mean, specked out, decked out. It's not easy. From my casa. But I've also got a very special guest in the studio. Constant Gakpo is in the house, author extraordinaire, and she's going to be sharing with us some very juicy details that she has now transplanted into a book. How are you doing, Constant?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Is it easy to be you?
Some days, yes. Some
Okay.
days, not so much.
Yes, I can see that. I'm also looking at their wig. This hair is not easy to be. It's not easy to be Constant. But how are we doing? How's everyone been? How has the day been?
It's been good.
Chilling.
Busy.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
Oh,
For some reason, today has been really good.
I see. Then I don't think you've been at your desk. Yes.
I've just been all
Oh,
over
I
the
should.
place.
I shouldn't. I shouldn't release your keys.
No.
Okay, let me keep my dirty mouth shut. Well, today we're talking about the dangers of online dating. And could you believe it, or would you believe it? It is now, I think, worldwide, meeting online, maybe the second most popular way that singletons are meeting and hooking up and getting into relationships and getting married and so on and so forth. Does that surprise anybody, Franklin? Does that surprise you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise you at all. What about you, Miss Judy? Does it surprise you that meeting people online is now the second most common way, I think, globally, that people are meeting and getting together?
Nah. I think it's been there, but it's just now becoming a little bit much because we are all feeling a little bit lazy to be stepping out and all. So if we can make it sitting like at home relaxing and
Right.
meeting people, why not?
Why not? Apparently, the best way actually to meet somebody, this is according to experts. Every day you read online, I don't know who these experts are, but experts say that the best way to meet somebody or the partnerships that they have noticed go the distance are the ones that a friend has introduced the parties. So there's a mutual friend. Why do you think that is?
I can talk about that because I met my wife through a mutual friend. So that mutual friend knows me and knows my wife and knows that, we have something in common.
Right.
So it kind of works.
It's a good starting
It's a
point,
good starting
at least.
point, yes. But online, it's good to know somebody who knows that
Who
person.
knows that person.
Or else then you don't know what you're going in for.
Oh boy, we're getting there. Miss Judy, have you ever been, introduced by a friend and, by extension then, had a partner, formed a relationship with somebody?
Not really, but I have met someone for a few days and then the relationship turned online.
Eh?
I met the person physically.
You
but
met them offline.
Yes.
Then you took the relationship online. You are doing your own backwards.
Wow.
Because you're supposed to meet online. Then you bring the thing offline.
Mine was the opposite. I met him and then now it became online.
Why? Because it was long distance.
Exactly.
Oh, runaway love.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that one is for a whole different day. Taking the love from offline to online. Well, Constant, what about you? Meeting through a mutual friend, has that ever happened?
No, that hasn't happened before. And I myself, I have this rule of not meddling in such things, introducing two people to start a relationship, because I've had a bad experience with that before. So I'd rather let people do their own thing, even if both of you are my friends.
Why does everybody say that?
yeah,
Everybody
start
says,
your
I
own
don't want to
thing.
be a matchmaker
Yeah, because
I've had a bad.
things
I mean,
go bad tomorrow.
sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it doesn't go. Don't let that, you could be the vessel for which somebody finds their husband or their wife. But I know what it's like. I've tried this one friend. I've introduced her by now to half of her crowd. Even when I was single, I was fishing for her, because this one, she has to get off the streets. She has to. Anyway, at the end of the show, I'll plug her details and we'll put her picture up. Before the year ends, I have to get her off the streets. She must be hooked up. But now let's bring it on to online dating. Online dating. And that has grown exponentially because, of course, we're all online. You have a lot of these websites that are dedicated to meeting other people. So there's things like Plenty of Fish, Match.com, Tinder, a very popular one. Do we think that has maybe reduced the authenticity of romantic relationships, this kind of swipe culture, what they call swipe culture? Franklin, what do you think? Do you think it's just as real if you meet somebody online?
Well, no and yes. No, because when you meet somebody online, you have to understand that this is online, is virtual, and everything you are discussing or what you are seeing may not be actually so. The person might look tall, they might tell you different things, but when you meet them, they're not actually so. And then also their attitude. You cannot feel the attitude from the discussions. But when you meet the person, that's the reality. So you need to have in mind that, okay, I've met the person online and this is what they are like online, but they will be different when I meet them in person. So when you meet them in person, you need to start a new friendship.
Love is blind, though.
But that love that is blind virtually, trust me.
Yes. And I'm happy you brought up that show. I don't know if you guys actually watched this show, Love is Blind. It's it started in the States, and now it's been adapted in different countries.
Yeah.
But the whole premise is that you date without ever seeing each other.
Yes.
And then you decide whether or not. And yes, I think maybe their success rate, it can be more than 20% in the number of seasons that they've had, because people do say they've fallen in love, or at least they've created a deep bond, but it can never take over physical attraction.
No.
Once you are together with the person, there might be something, there are certain things that, even me, the way somebody blinks, it can put me off. There are small things that small
And there's
quirks
so many things that they may not have told you.
Exactly.
Then you find out.
You find out the
And
person
it's a
even
different
bite their
person
toenails.
altogether.
I mean, come on.
Hey, toenails.
Toenails.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
You see somebody can contort their body, and I mean, you never knew that when you were chatting online. You see it physically, and like, what the hell, man?
I am of a different view. I feel like I think it's funny when people refer to people as Facebook people or social media people. I mean, what do you mean? These people you see on social media are the same people you see in everyday life.
Are they
Social
really,
media
or are they
is just
their best version
a
online?
medium of meeting people. So to me, you can't totally demonize it and say dangers of meeting people online, so don't go that way. No, there are people who have done it and it worked out for them. Because are you not on Facebook?
I mean, Facebook, no.
Are you not on social media?
I'm on social media, but
Yes,
Facebook,
we
no.
all use social media one way or
Facebook,
the other.
all my aunties are there, so I had to leave. Yeah, all of my aunties.
But the thing is, Facebook, LinkedIn, all these medias platform, you can meet good people
You
for
can meet
business,
bad
for
people.
friendship,
Yes.
and then you can meet bad people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if
It's
you
just
don't
like
have the
everyday
mind-
life. To me, it's the same thing. There's no guarantee. There's no 100% guarantee when it comes to love.
But do you agree with Franklin that because of how curated we all are on social media, that it gives you maybe there's an extra need for, that extra scrutiny? Do you think that is true? Because
it's true though. It's true. But you can meet someone in real life and the person will still be totally fake.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Completely
I know them.
Yes.
Oh,
That's true.
Miss Judy, you guys say, hey.
The thing is, I also feel that online is a little bit dangerous. There was this documentary on Netflix that the lady for 4 years dated somebody online, only to find out that the person is the cousin, and everything that she knew about the so-called guy was made up. So
Did the guy know that they were cousins?
the guy knew everything.
Oh, wow.
So she met this guy online. They started chatting. The cousin used somebody's face and family.
Okay.
So
Okay.
every story
So
that was
catfished her.
yeah. So let's assume that the guy had a wife and kid. He rather told the lady that the guy has divorced the wife and kid, and they are like in a divorce battle. So everything was actually happening, but in a different way. So after years of fighting the guy that I want to see you, you have to come down, let's meet. The guy comes down and is supposed still hiding from the lady. So now she started searching for
So there were red
how
flags.
to meet the lady. Yeah. So she finds the wife, finds the child, happily playing together. Now started tracking them and meets the guy. She introduces herself to the guy, and the guy has no idea who she is.
Oh.
And she's assuming that the guy is pretending because the wife is there. Because she knows the story that the wife...
Is this a blockbuster you are telling us?
It's not.
Real
It's,
life?
I think In Love with Bobby on Netflix, you check, it's a
I
documentary.
see. Constant, you've seen this particular...
No, I've not seen
Series,
this one,
okay.
but I've seen similar stories like Worst Ex Ever.
Okay.
That came out also recently. Then I've seen The Tinder Swindler, and
Yes.
I've also had my own version of all of that.
Absolutely. And that is why Constant is here to tell us a tale of what it's like to go online, to meet somebody, and actually have your life, shall I say, turned upside down. Before we get into the juicy, sordid tales, I know Franklin his appetite has been whet. He wants to hear all of this. We've talked about meeting, offline and all of that, but I'll ask around the table as well. Franklin, have you ever met somebody online and forged a romantic relationship?
I forged the romance.
Yes.
No.
It
No,
was.
because
It wasn't
when-
romantic.
It wasn't romantic
Okay.
because when social media, when Facebook started, it was 2009.
Yes.
I'd already gotten married. So.
But what has that got to do with the price of fish?
He doesn't want to compare.
It was more friendship.
Got it,
I
got
met
it.
some very good friends.
Okay.
Now one of them is Yaon Pofankra.
Okay.
I met him on social media and we did business and stuff together.
Okay,
So I
okay.
met so many people online. But the thing is, when you meet somebody online, you've got to use your common sense, because you've met them online. But do you know someone else who knows that person? It's very important. You need to dig things. And also, I've also met some people who faked an account that they are this popular person and they want to support my project. We don't have a project called Project Know Thyself. It's a charity
Okay.
that supports young people at university stage.
Got
So, they'll give me this money. So I'm thinking, okay. And I get carried away and I'm like, okay, let's do a video call. And for me, we have to do a video call. I must see you.
It's important.
Yeah. So when we did that video call, I realized, I'm seeing a face, but it's like a picture. But I'm not seeing the mouth move.
Okay.
And later on, I saw the mouth move, but the mouth is not moving according to the words. So I was like, so we are like how? It's a fake account. So the thing is, we must do a video call. I must see you. I must see your mouth moving, at least
Right.
if I'm not seeing you. And if I have to date somebody on social media, 1 year, no. In that 1 week, we must do a video call. You must do a video call. You must wear different things. I must see you.
Yes, because now AI is getting so sophisticated.
Tell me about it.
Yes, now they can really make the lips move, according
Like
to
the
the way, like the
person,
person
yes.
and the words. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
we're in a very dangerous
Then you must know
territory.
somebody who knows that person.
Exactly.
Or else they don't do it.
Somebody says, "I want to see you physically."
Frankly, they are so smart before they approach. They've friended most of your friends on Facebook.
That's another one as
But I
well.
must know somebody who knows you. Not,
Yes, so-
not like a connection, but
Okay.
the person must have met you in person.
Okay,
Or else
okay.
then I'm not
Because
doing
Miss Judy, I know what you're talking about. Even they can go to the extent of now creating 4 personas.
Yeah.
And those 4 personas can court your friendship for years and then now introduce you virtually. So you think, this is somebody I met online, but you are talking to their other alter ego. I mean, people go to see, they are scared skilled at this.
Yeah, very skilled. At
Very
Great
skilled at
extent.
it. And also, I mean, we're humans. Somebody catches you at a vulnerable time, just that listening ear, day in and day out, you can get swept up in all of that. But Constance, talk to us. You've got a very interesting story to share that has compelled you to now write about it. So this one is not an anonymous letter that we have today on an anonymous dilemma. This is a real life story. Constance, take us away. What happened?
Okay, so the book we're talking about, this is it, and it's titled Waltzing with the Devil. A blood-freezing real-life story lived and written by me. So the title should already tell you a little something about the content. So I met someone online that is on Facebook. I didn't go looking for love on Facebook. He was a Facebook friend, and then we started talking. And by and by, as you said, we formed a bond because the conversation was flowing. We started spending more and more time, not just texting, but also making phone calls, late into the night and all that. And feelings start popping up here and there. And so the next thing you know, you want to start a relationship. I told myself, well, why not? You can meet people anywhere. You can meet people in the real world, virtually and all that. And the fact that this man was willing to actually travel all the way to my country made me think, okay, this is someone serious. So as you said, people can go to great lengths just to manipulate and deceive you because of what they are trying to get from you. So yeah, he came, and that is how we ended up spending. I think that relationship lasted for 8 months, but let me tell you, those 8 months were hell. Yeah, and a lot of people.
So did he actually make it to see you?
Yes.
Okay, so this is somebody
multiple times.
The relationship went from online to offline, not like Miss Judy's one, offline to online. This one, you started online, talking late into the night, all of that. You formed that bond, and then he actually flew to come and see you.
Oh, he didn't fly. He came by road.
He came by road.
Yes.
Okay. Did you know he was coming by road?
Yes.
Okay. So he was
one
not
time
too
he
far.
even drove himself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's either he would come and visit me or I would come here to Ghana to come and visit him.
Because you are based not too far from us. Where are you based?
I'm from Togo. That's where I live.
Okay.
I used to live in Ghana because of school. But after I completed university, I went back to my home country. Yeah. So I had already finished school before he and I met. That was towards the latter part of 2022, September 2022. Yeah. So as I said, a lot of people were like, just 8 months relationship and you wrote a book. How about if you spent years with this person? And I'm like, but your reasoning is not making sense to me because it's not about the duration of the relationship. It's about what happened during that time. And as I keep saying, somebody can show you the compressed hell of years within 3 or 6 months. And this is exactly what I went through. The gaslighting, the manipulation, the lies, the confusion, it was serious. This is somebody who went to every length to give me every assurance. Met my family. I met his family. He met my pastor. He used to come to church with me. We used to pray together, do morning devotion. He's somebody that when you wake up in the morning and you're together, he will start playing worship songs on YouTube and worshiping, faking to be speaking in tongues and all of that. I mean, he had every base covered. Spiritually, emotionally, everything was covered.
Financially?
Yes. Oh no, that is the part. that was the tricky part.
Okay.
Because a lot of people were also like, when this story came out, because I shared a snippet, I shared some of them with you, and people said, how can you meet a man and then you're always the one giving? The man will tell you stories, he looks well dressed and educated, and then you just start giving him money. No. That's not what happened. I met somebody who told me that, okay, look, I used to have a corporate job and then I lost the job. And I also had a house fire in which I lost everything. But I'm now doing freelance jobs. He told me he's an IT professional, right? Cyber security expert. So I'm doing one-off jobs for these clients here and there, and then I'm still okay. So when we started, that was the story. I'm still doing okay, not as okay as before, but I'm still okay. And then gradually he started changing the story to, oh, clients are not calling me back, and people have worked for are not paying, and people who owe me are not picking my call. So gradually is now okay. I was okay, but now I'm struggling. And you already started dating this person. And me, I'm not the type of woman who would abandon you in the middle of the road. A lot of women would have left, but I decided to stay and help him, and that was the mistake that I made.
See the way Miss Judy is laughing.
Yes,
See the way Miss Judy is laughing.
Oh.
Miss Judy, she would have
she's free to laugh.
left
Yes.
you.
Yes, I know a lot of women would have left.
A lot of women would have, someone like Miss Judy. Oh, master.
No, it's a relationship.
I mean, they wouldn't even start dating you. The moment you give any hint of financial trouble, they are gone. They are gone with the wind.
Yes.
But I have a different type of mentality. I've always been a very giving, very generous person. And I thank God for blessing me with a good job that pays me so well. So
Give it up,
I'm
give it up, give it up,
like-
give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
And they've heard.
And we are all coming.
Oh, they should not deceive themselves. Now my eyes have opened. Yes. Now I'm seeing very clear, as someone will say.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I was saying recently that if you're a giver, right, you need to know who you are giving to. Because if the other person is also a receiver, then you're in trouble.
You're in
'Cause
trouble.
You are going to drain yourself.
Yeah.
Because givers also want to receive.
They do.
So
And that
one
was
should
the
receive.
issue over
Yeah.
there. Because
And also
he keeps
nobody wants to be taken for a
Yeah.
ride.
Oh.
taking. And I was dealing with so much gaslighting. And a lot of times I am confused because you tell the person, okay, you go and ask questions. This thing is not making sense to me. You are seeing A. Then you know it's A. But then he tells you that, no, what you are saying is not A. Because from
stress.
my perspective, that's not what you think. And he always had this phrase that he likes to use, babe, give me the benefit of the doubt. You know, what you think is not always the truth. So, and your perspective is not the only one. Maybe what you are thinking is not what it is. So I was always confused, always second guessing myself, you know. It was a very, very difficult and mentally traumatic time for me, and I'm still healing from it. Yeah.
So, if this person was not what you thought,
Yeah.
you say it was 8 months of hell.
Yes.
Were there other women that he was involved with?
Oh, a lot.
Aye.
A lot.
That's how you feel.
He actually made a career, yes, out
That's
of
how it
this.
feels.
A professional romance scammer. Yeah.
Wow.
In all, we knew about 8 different women.
Oh.
4 of them became friends of mine because together we decided what to do about him. And then we
Hey.
knew 4 others that
Is
we
he
did
still
not
walking
contact.
on the planet as we speak?
He is.
Oh, when he
Because
said
after
when he
my-
said you came together to decide what to do
Yes.
with him, I was worried for the guy.
Yes, because there's that part too where he was arrested and everything. But of course, he was in charge, so they can't keep him in there forever. We just made sure that he spent a weekend, you know, with the mosquitoes in the cells and all that. But afterwards, they had to let him go.
Wow.
Yeah,
clear the malaria and
because
start again.
you know, I was there, and then this girl messaged me on Instagram and said, we have a friend in common. And as soon as she mentioned his name, I just knew that it's
Oh, yeah,
about
yeah,
to
no.
go down.
You knew something was
I
up.
knew, and by then I had broken up with him, and it had been a month. But I always had these unanswered questions. I knew that there was a lot about this guy. I just don't know. You know, so I was always praying that God should reveal to me what I don't know, what's in the dark. And then I was there, and this girl just messaged me. I said, okay, this is what I've been praying and waiting for. They said, no, my best friend has been dating this guy for the past 5 months, and he has collected a lot of money from her with different stories, and the whole thing is no longer making
What's his
sense.
name?
So we want to...
Franklin, I
we
beg
want
you.
to- Oh, he's Kweku. So we want to know. We want to...
We
talk
won't
to-
add any more names to it.
Yeah, just Kweku. That's how everybody knows him as.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I said, oh, no problem. Me, I'm willing to talk. I'm not one of those women who will fight my fellow woman over a man. Never. So then we got in touch, and then she told me about how she found out about 2 other women. And then we became 4. And apart from us, there were 4 more
To
that
do
we did
more.
not contact. So 8.
To do more.
And I'm sure that if we dug more, we would have found even more women. And guess what? We were just the ATMs, the girlfriends. This was a legally married man with kids.
Oh.
So wait, Constance. This is a legally married man who has children.
Yes.
But finds the time to commute between Ghana and Togo.
Yes.
And who knows where else he was going to.
Yeah.
Is that how he was feeding his family?
He claims he was using the money to take care of his family. But when my story came out, the wife also spoke up. The first wife, because there's a second one.
Oh.
The first wife of 6 years came to speak up and said, yes, what I said is true. But the part that was not true was that the money he was taking from all of us, and mostly from me, because I was the one he drained the most, they did not see any of it because this guy was not taking care of her, was not taking care of the kids. She was rather taking care of him. At least that's what she
He's not
claims.
Ghanaian. I don't
He's a Ghanaian.
No, we've disowned him.
Yes.
I mean, Kweku there is a Ghanaian.
No. You know, some African Americans, it's both their quick
No.
is cute.
He's 100%, 100% Ghanaian.
You don't want him, please.
What I'm saying.
He's a Ghanaian. So then I was like, okay. And after that, I heard that after our episode, he was arrested again for doing the same thing. And he still went ahead to marry another woman after the first one this year in April.
Constance, let me ask a question. What part of the whole saga do you personally take responsibility for?
Yes, I take responsibility for making a lot of wrong choices and closing my eyes when I shouldn't have. Because the red flags were very, very red. But I chose to keep giving the benefit of that when I shouldn't have, you know.
What was your mental state at that time?
Oh my God, I was a mess. I was always crying, always. And the stress was so much so that I was having panic attacks in my sleep. I would wake up screaming because I feel like I can't breathe. And it still happens to me sometimes, up to now.
Do you blame yourself for what you went through?
Oh yeah, at first I blamed myself a lot. I couldn't forgive myself because I was like, how did I let this happen to me? Why? Because I'm not a dumb girl. I'm not stupid. So how did I let this happen to me? That I almost lost everything. You know, all the things I was supposed to have done for myself by then, I couldn't do any of them. I was funding the life of a man who had a car whilst I was trekking and taking Okada in the sun. I mean, how? So at first I was very, very hard on myself, but then I told myself, you know what? This can happen to anyone. I can't come and kill myself. It has happened. The best thing is to take ownership for the part that I did wrong, learn from it, and then share my story with others so that they can also learn and maybe be saved. When I started sharing this story, there are a lot of women that have gotten in touch with me, men as well. Trust me, this thing is happening like so much, but people don't talk about it
Because of the
because
shame.
of shame. And at first I used to be so ashamed I was like, what will people say? People will say you are stupid,
Exactly.
you are dumb. And yes, when the story came out, some people came out to say that. And there was one woman who even said, you tried to buy a man's love with your money, so we won't read your stupid book. Yes.
When it's not happening.
A lot of people said that. You know, so I was like, no, there is a greater purpose to this. In spite of what I went through, I know that this will help a lot of people. You know, people who are going through the same thing and they don't have the courage, they can't speak up. They will find that courage. Because when I was going through it, I wished that there was something like this. It would have helped me to come out so much sooner. You know, so I couldn't have that. Let me be that for other people. That is one reason why I wrote this book. And also because I needed an outlet for the pain. Trying to keep everything in my head was driving me nuts, you know. So I decided to write because writing is one of the things that I do best. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. And I'm sure now you feel much freer, at least having talked about it and still healing from it. And you know what? I think many people, and I probably used to be that way before I entered a certain relationship, not for a long time, where the gaslighting, manipulation, was quite a lot, because I've always prided myself in being quite tough, and you can't swindle me. Me, my eyes are open. I'm sharp.
Me, hard girl.
Hard girl. You know what I'm saying?
When
But
you fall in love, you forget all these
You
things.
forget, yeah.
and sometimes as well, the kind of state that you are in. I mean, before I entered that particular relationship, I don't think my confidence was too great. I don't think my self-esteem at that point was, all the way up there. Personal reasons or whatever the case may be. So whilst I was in that situation, I didn't realize I was being gaslit, manipulated. I didn't realize that my confidence was being chipped away at until, I came out of it, and I thought, no, you slack, but
Yeah.
never again.
That is the thing. Once you are in it,
Yeah.
you don't realize how bad it is. It's when I started sharing excerpt of this story online, and everybody was like, what the hell? That's when I realized that, Constant, you put up with so much nonsense. Like, this was so bad. But once you are in it, you don't see it. That is why I encourage a lot of victims to speak up. When you start speaking up, you will realize that you are in such a deep hole and you need to come out. But as long as you keep quiet, it will help your abuser to keep abusing you, and you might never come out of there. So I always encourage everybody, talk to someone you trust, that person can give you good counsel.
Right.
Might be a friend, family member. Just talk to
somebody. Franklin, let me flip the script a little bit. On the side of men, can men also fall victim to this kind of romance scam? So
Yeah.
as a gentleman, you meet a lady, and every time she needs assistance, be it for, I don't know,
Yeah.
books or studies, does it also happen to men?
Well, yes. As you were talking, I became a bit emotional. I felt your pain, and I must say, really sorry.
Thank you.
Before I got married to my wife, I was single for a period of time, and my friends were like, "I'm not dating somebody," and I'm like, "I'm looking for a wife, not a girlfriend." So this girl was introduced to me, and I loved her, and we're in London by then, and I said, "Oh, I would like to get married to you," and she goes like, "Oh, I'm not ready right now." So my niece said to her, You're in London, you don't have your papers. This man has his papers. He wants to get married to you, you want to go into nursing. He can help you. He's got his accommodation. What's the problem? You're dating him. Why don't you get married? Oh, he's not ready. And then my niece said, "I think you're sleeping." He said, "No, I'm not asleep. I know what I'm doing." And then my niece said, by the time you realize you're asleep, you would have been up. But you know what? Each time I go and drop her at home, and I want to hug her, she said, "Oh, no. Because we are not married, my auntie doesn't like that. My auntie will see me." Do you know that all these while she was living with a boyfriend? She was living with a mixed race guy, her boyfriend, all the time. And she comes to me, sleeps over, we do everything. And twice she told me she's pregnant. The first time she said she's pregnant, I was like, "Okay, have the baby, and then we'll get married later." And then my niece and I were going to the airport to meet somebody. Somewhere around the train station, I saw this pretty girl coming with this black belt tight on the waist. So I was like, "Oh wow!" And the stiletto, I was like, "Wow." Then my niece said, "Is that not?" I don't want to mention it. I was like, "Hey," I said,
So she was wearing abortion belts.
I'm telling you, I said,
Where is the pregnancy?
"What's happening to my baby?" "Oh, I'll speak to you later." "Oh, I'll speak to you later."
Because you
And
see
then
the
she
way the
jumped on the
stomach
train.
is compressed, there's no way
And then
life
she
is
jumped on the
existing
train,
in
and
that
then
belly.
later on, she called me in the evening and said, "Oh, I lost the baby." I was like, "Really? You lost the baby and you were walking around like this?" So I didn't understand what was going on. And I'm that kind of person that my intuition and prayers is so important to me. So as I was praying, I fell asleep. Then it's like I fell into a trance, and I saw her and her friend, and her friend was saying, "No, Franklin is serious about you, and that person is also serious about you. You need to choose one." I said, "No, I can't choose. I have to use the two."
Hey.
So when I woke up, I said to myself, I'm going to make it easy for you to choose, and that's it.
You walked away.
I walked away, so I didn't call her again. And when she called me, we had a conversation, and she said, "You sound a bit down. What's the problem?" I said, "Oh, nothing. Don't you love me anymore?" I said, "I used to." She said, "Oh, just like that?" I said, "Yeah, I used to. I don't love you anymore." And that's how I left her. So I called my wife then, I'd met her, but I wasn't being serious. When I called her, her voice, I was like, what happened to me? Why didn't I look at this woman first? You know, but so it happens to us as guys. Then it also happens.
But frankly, let me ask, so had it not come to you, more or less, do you think you would have still stayed in it trying to figure out, you know, why things weren't working? Would you have continued to pursue it had it not been for that awakening that you got?
Yeah, yes, it would have been hard. Because you see, once you are in it, it's hard to just say you are going, especially when you are involved like that. It's difficult. You know, so you might think you are hard, you're cool, you know, you are smart, but when it comes to relationship, trust me, because the person schemes you. They scheme you over a period of time and they know your emotions and they hit on that hard. So she was manipulating me with pregnancy. I'm pregnant.
And she knows that you would love to have a baby with her.
I wanted it. I was dying for a baby. You know, because I've been a teacher for years and all these children call me daddy, so I wanted my own. You know, so at the time that I said, I don't love you anymore, and she came back and said to me, she's pregnant. I said, have that baby, give me that baby and throw yourself away somewhere. And the baby never came.
It was all manipulation.
It was all manipulation. But what I'm trying to, I want to say here is that this person doesn't do it to just romantic relationship or women alone. They even do it to friends.
Yeah.
You know, they'll come to you and tell you stories, and you'll be paying and paying and loaning the money. And then the next time the gas, you know that word gaslighting, I only came across it 2 days ago. I didn't know of it.
Okay.
So when I read them, I was like, yeah, I am you.
Yes.
So many friends, not relations, so many friends that gaslight you because, you know, you're seeing this, they're telling you,
They make you doubt your reality.
And I mean, it can mess even with the smartest or the sharpest of tools. It messes with your psyche. You are seeing the thing, somebody, and you start to think, wait, am I the one that's crazy?
You think you're going crazy. That's why you need to talk to someone.
You think you're great. Now, for me, I have that gift of I will see you in a dream and I'll see everything. But when I start telling that person, they got it. So now like, it's a dream. It's just a dream.
That thing,
you come in with a dream again. It's a dream.
That thing, it's so important. The God factor and God speaking to us. God
What
spoke
somebody
to me
sometimes calls gut feeling is in your stomach.
I saw things too very vividly, but I told myself, oh, it was just a dream. Very vividly. I remember the first time he came to visit me. That night, the first night, I had a dream where I saw that he was getting intimate with another woman.
In the dream?
Yes. And so I was calling him on the phone and the phone was ringing and he was not picking up. So the woman picked up and she told me, I am Kweku's girlfriend. And she mentioned
in the dream.
In the dream.
Okay.
So when I woke up, I said, this is the dream I just had. And I mentioned the girl's name. He was like, oh, this is the devil trying to play with your mind. And I don't even know anybody by that name. Guess what? Later on, I found out there was actually someone in his life by that name.
By that name?
Yes. And it wasn't just me. My closest friend also had dreams about him. And I kept seeing all kinds of things. But every time, you know, the person keeps gaslighting you. So you second guess yourself. You doubt yourself and the voice of God. And that's one thing that I've decided, never doubt the voice of God. Never.
Ms. Judy, is it surprising that people who run romance scams are just that way in business? And really, it's a trait not reserved for romantic lovers or romantic partners alone. So in business, like Franklin is saying, if you see a man who is cheating his business partners, always wants to, you know, swipe some money left and right, you know, on the back, then they most likely have that. I mean, you shouldn't be surprised if they have that trait.
At the moment, we live in a world that everybody wants to play smart. So if I can make my money easily, why not? We will definitely do that instead of working hard. And a lot of people are now learning how to scam because that's the easiest way. You are relaxing at home and making good money. So why not? And I know of like ladies who are doing that and it's working for them. You kind of get jealous of their lifestyle because they are making good money out of swindling people.
So they have romantic partners that they are leading to believe that, okay, I'm with you, I'm moving with you.
Today I am sick. The person is so in love that he's sending money to you. Tomorrow my mom had an accident.
My grandmother fainted. Then my grandfather
died.
Died though. He actually used that. My grandfather died, and we need funeral contribution. I'm telling you the stories. You have to read this book.
For whatever reason, these men are not even following up to go and check whether the ladies are telling the truth or not. How can you be in love with someone stupidly in love with someone and not falling up. Me, for example, you know me, I don't have time. Once my gut feelings is not right, once you make me feel less of a person, I am out. Like, I hate to be manipulated. So
you said follow up.
Yes.
But when you follow up, they say, you don't trust me?
I
You
don't
believe
trust
me?
you, sir.
That's part of the
Why you doing
manipulation.
that?
I am human. I cannot decide
They'll
to
be
trust
angry,
you fully.
like, hey.
You know, one thing that he used to do a lot, because this was not my first time experiencing something like this, but this was the worst. And I told him about how I've been in previous relationships where the men deceived me and took advantage of me. So whenever I started getting suspicious of stuff he was telling me and I would start asking questions, he would be like, you are acting paranoid because of what other people did to you in the past. And you are trying to punish me for what other men did to you, and it's not fair. Why are you doing that?
See,
I've
you
done
start feeling
nothing.
bad.
Why are you asking?
Yeah.
Well, you see, then you start feeling bad, and you will end up apologizing to him instead.
Ladies, let's talk frankly. Is there a part of us, our desire to be either married, romantically partnered, that makes us sometimes ignore the red flags? Constant, is it something that as a woman it resonates with you? Because it certainly resonates with me. That sometimes we make these decisions, maybe you're thinking biological clock, whether you like it or yes, you are racing against the clock. You might be looking at societal pressure. Everybody's having a nice trad. When is mine going to come? Do you concede that as women sometimes that pressure lets us close our eyes to things that are clear?
I would speak for myself.
Yeah.
For me, that was never a factor. And I also answered that question in this book because I know a lot of people will say, and I've actually had an officer who said that to me, that when he asked about my age, and when I mentioned my age, he said, hey, so you could do all this just because you wanted the man to marry you? And I said, no, this is who I am. When I love someone and I'm in a relationship, I can't watch you whilst you are suffering. If I have the means to help you, I will help. It has nothing to do with marriage.
Okay.
So for me, it wasn't because I was desperate for marriage. No, because if I was desperate, I would have agreed when this man proposed that I should pay for my own bride price and traditional wedding. Yes.
Okay, on that note, we'll be ending the show.
I mean, if I was desperate, I would have done it because there are women who actually do stuff like that.
So he said that, if you are willing to fund
Yes.
Pay everything.
the everything,
Yes.
then
Marry you.
I'll marry you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He brought up that idea and I said, no way.
Okay.
That is one thing I wouldn't do. I can support you, help you with your business ideas and
But
whatever,
that was-
that's
you
one-
were not going to
No,
go for
I
that.
am not going to do that.
Miss Judy, what do you think that for a lot of women, at least from where I stand or from where I sit, I know I have friends, cousins who I see doing things because I know that they are thinking about the clock, they are thinking about the time, they're thinking about the pressure. Do you
It's-
agree that it's
it's
there?
not just about the clock. It's about nurturing. We have this nurturing feeling that we want to see things work. So if the guy is not falling in place, we want to be sure that we can make things work. We can change him. So we are just trying to change people who are not willing to change,
Yeah.
who are not even there for us. But we feel like we can make things right. They are our kids or whatever. So we need to nurture them to be who we think we want them to be. And that's one of the things that we make a lot of mistakes. We see these red flags and we still want to see that the person is going to change for us.
Is it because we don't think that we have options out there? Because Miss Judy, if I think that, I mean, now my self-worth is different, my confidence is different. Me, if you can't want to, your mouth is not sweet, get out of here, man.
But
Because
a lot-
the world is populated,
Yes.
so it's a numbers game. You want to meet somebody, you go out and you date, you meet people.
But we
If you don't
want
like
to be
this person,
intimate with so many
you don't
people.
have to be, because somebody can show you their true colors just in a few conversations, and you whittle it down. But or for example, okay, you're intimate with this person. Is it also a religious factor that, okay, I've given myself to this person, so now no matter what they say, what will
Marry
somebody, let me marry them?
He'll
Is
change
that
for
also
us. It's
one of the
never change.
factors? Franklin, I think you it resonates with you. Is that also a factor? I've
it
given
is.
myself to this
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't come out.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
do you advise for that young man or young woman who thinks that, well, I was going to wait till marriage, I didn't. I thought I'd formed, the bond with the final one, and it's not happening. So I feel like I must stay there because I've had sex with them.
Yeah. No, I don't think you should stay there because you've had sex with the person. If you've been with a person and you've seen so many things about the person, that red flags, you don't stay with the person, you are not going to be happy for the rest of your life. And at the end of the day, we came into the world alone. We are going to live alone. So whatever, even if you have 10 children, they are not ours. When they come out, they belong to the government, they belong to the world.
That's right.
The house, everything you acquire, they are not yours.
You can't take it with you.
You are just a custodian for a short while.
Easier said than done.
I know it's easier said than done, but what you need to realize that if it happens for you, fine. If it doesn't happen for you, what are you going to do? Kill yourself? No.
Yeah.
Or get yourself into a situation where you are going to struggle, or else then make up your mind that I'm going to have a baby with this person and just have a child and move on. But the thing is, when you have a baby with the devil,
I mean, it's
Yeah, your
even
life
worse.
forever.
Yes, it's even worse,
but I'm
isn't
going to
it?
say that you are lucky that you didn't get pregnant with him.
I couldn't have gotten pregnant because we never had sex.
And that's why you are lucky, because if you're not strong enough, this kind of man will make you pregnant.
Oh, Constant, that means
lock
that
you
had
up.
things gone in that direction, you could have forked out more.
Yes. You are
That's
very
why I'm
lucky.
happy that I stuck to that boundary.
You are very lucky for 8
Yeah,
months.
because even if I didn't get pregnant, I could have gotten some other
Anything.
sickness from somewhere
Yes.
Exactly.
because he was out there doing whatever with anybody. So, yeah,
So
it's
we
not
need
a
to be
guarantee.
critical in our
This
thinking.
person was abstaining with me and was still doing nonsense out there and still showed me shaggy. It's not a guarantee, but I would encourage
I like
anybody.
this.
So, I mean, so
that
like Constance is saying.
if you can, like, don't go there when it comes to the sex stuff. If you can,
Because even
just go
without
back.
being intimate, you
Yes.
went through this. So,
Yes.
I mean,
You are giving yourself then that's
that
It
means
can
that
go both ways.
it
Some
can
people
go both
can
ways.
say, because of that, then what's the point? Let me just do it. Then other people can also take it that, oh, then it was better because it could have been worse.
Somebody might say, at least you got some small enjoyment from it. But
What
like you said, at
enjoyment?
least,
What
no, we
enjoyment?
got
I would say that ladies should love with their head and not their heart.
Ladies,
Use your
are
head
you
first.
listening?
Use your head first. Ask questions, and if it's not sitting, it's not resonating with you.
Even
Move on. There's so many men.
psychologists agree
Yes.
that when you are in love, that part of your brain that is supposed to do all the logical thinking,
It's tough.
it becomes. It goes under the emotional
Take
one.
it
You
back.
understand?
But that's why when you
So
have
that's-
stories like Constance,
Yeah.
it serves as a reminder. Trust me,
Yes.
the number of times I defer to older cousins and whatever else and their experiences. So even when you are in it, you think no, don't get carried away, because I mean, yes, you might think you are special and you are all special in God's eyes, but to a scammer, you are just another number.
Yeah,
No
just a
amount
means
of
to an
beauty.
end.
No amount of beauty, honesty, humility. I mean, is going to whatever. A scammer is here to scam you. Finish.
she doesn't
and in fact,
care
you
how
are the prime
beautiful you are.
candidates because you are sweet, humble,
Yeah.
giving. You are the prime. Somebody like Miss Judy. Miss Judy would just tell him, "Come on, get out of here, man." And I mean, that's the end of the whole thing. But Constant, what would you say is the number one lesson that you have
Helen,
taken
wait,
away?
Let me ask a silly
Yes,
question
please.
before. Did
Ask
he
a silly
contact you when
question.
you wrote the book? Maybe he
No.
needs to make some of the money or anything.
No.
Guy, wait, Helen, continue.
Don't give him any ideas, in case he has
what
tuned
money?
in.
He still owes me a lot of money. So what is it? What money is he?
But-
giving?
But Constant, actually, before I get your final words on this,
Yeah.
I mean, in the court of law, and because we don't have a lawyer with us, what really would you be able to if you were looking to sue in a civil matter? Were some of these monies advanced strictly as a loan? Was there anything in writing, or was it just, I need this, I need that? Because if you gave that money, say, for example, for a funeral that never existed, I mean, the courts would not entertain that. They would call it a gift. Were there some monies that you gave that this is a loan?
All of it, almost all of it, most of it was taken as a loan. It was always, I will
I'll pay you back. Okay.
Yes. So I trusted his word on that, and I kept.
Were there a
giving.
text? Were there any text? I will
Yes.
give you this money
Yes.
back. Okay.
It was always, I will
Okay.
pay you back.
That's
And every time
Evidence.
I would bring it up, he would be like, I swear I'm going to give you back every dime I've ever taken from you. And yet he didn't mean that. He didn't mean that.
Did he ever get angry with you and say, "Oh, this money, this is no
Oh,
money"?
yes.
Because
There-
people
there
that
was-
they like that.
yeah.
Huh? Where
There
are
was,
they?
there was one time that we were supposed to travel. He stayed in Koforidua, so I went to visit. We were coming to Accra. And then he said we should buy fuel, like fill up his car so that we drive. And I wanted us to take public transport. Then he got angry, got moody. I was like, why? He said, these are some of the things that get me so sad because I can't even get 500 cedis to buy fuel and fill up my car and drive my
Emotional
girlfriend.
blackmail.
Yes. And you will think this person is acting like this because he cares about you. Meanwhile, he does
just
not give a damn.
wants the money.
Yes.
Petrol in his
He
car.
does not give a damn.
Visited
Wow.
this place.
Sorry, please remind me, what was the question you asked me? About the court of law. Yes.
Yes.
This is one reason why I have written this book, to sound a warning. You should know that when it comes to law, there are no laws that protect people who fall victim to romance scam. At least not in this part of the world.
It's not
So
formalized.
if you allow yourself to be taken advantage
your own.
of,
You're on your own. Constant, what's the name of your book? Where can we find it?
The name of my book is Waltzing with the Devil.
Waltzing with the Devil.
Like dancing with the
Yes.
devil.
Like
And you will
Dancing with the
find
Devil.
If you go to any of my profiles, whether on Facebook or Instagram, any of my pages, either the writer or Constant Gakpo,
We'll find
you'll see
you
the
there.
link in my profile. Just click on it and you see all the platforms where you can get the book from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important. You know, we platform these conversations because it's a cautionary tale to
Yes.
all of us. Anybody can fall victim to romance scams. Franklin, Constant, Miss Judy, thank you so much for your time this evening. And Franklin, I'm very intrigued about this NGO of yours. We have to talk about it in some more detail. But today we've run out of time. We have to make way for the news at 8, and then Godwin will be here for Wind Down. He has some amazing tunes lined up for us all. But God might not be done with you, but we what? We are. Have an amazing Tuesday evening.